Pigskin Holiday, folks, and CT's Hot Seat segment. Brought to you by Sponsorless Tennis Shoes. They white and they blink. Like him.
Hey, hey! If Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
That's right. That's right.
Well, you know, I kind of wanted to touch on this just a little bit since it's kind of impactful this far into the season. There's one team right now that's undefeated. I'm talking about, of course, the Green Bay Packers. I mean, both sides of the ball, they are just dominant.
Yes.
They dominate both bulls. Wait a minute here. We digress from the point. So I've got like the season totals for some of the key players for Green Bay right now. Let's start off with the defensive side. Kind of some good, kind of some Some numbers you would expect to be a little bit better from some of the players, but we'll start off with that.
Well, last we heard, the sack totals as a whole in the NFL were low.
They are, which, like we touched on, I guess
Actually,
that was
they should
How
be pretty
can it be?
high.
Sam Bradford gets sacked all the time.
that's
Sorry, CT.
I don't know. There's a lot of guys in the NFL. You think it'd be pretty high.
Yeah.
It ain't a joke. You talk about sex.
Well, you know, there are those half sacks.
Half sick.
Bunch of Lance Armstrongs running around out there.
Sons of Anarchy on FX Tuesdays at 9.
Oh no. All right. So anyway, Pepra, 7 tackles by himself. Not bad. Not bad.
For the year?
Yeah.
Not good either. It's only one
No,
game.
but not bad. And then we've got Bishop. He has 6 tackles and then 2 assisted tackles. Again, not too bad. Not too good. And Matthews. He's got 4 tackles, 2 assists, and 1 sack. You would expect his sacks to be a little bit higher right
He
now.
plays better than that sounds.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that we've seen him do better, and he has done better by this point before. So something's going on there. Any input on that, guys?
Yeah, he's Clay Matthews. People are gunning for him. People are intentionally going out of their way to make sure that he doesn't get to where he needs to go. They're almost. It almost seems like he's that kind of guy, like a Bill Romanowski back in the day, to where you almost just shrug off who you're supposed to block and just go for that guy, because who you're supposed to block could get blocked by the fullback or the
He might
halfback. Could do something. But yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, that's the thing that makes the most sense to me is maybe a tight end who's supposed to run a route just kind of goes out of his way to just bump Clay Matthews a little bit and get him out of the way for a second.
Well,
Or the fact that he might be double teamed sometimes.
yeah, but he still gets through there and makes things happen.
He's freaking awesome.
We often
Yeah.
talk about how games are not often indicated by stats.
Right.
Like Sproles. We said sometimes he looks like he's doing a lot more than the stats say he did.
Right.
The same thing with Matthews. I mean, we're not counting the hurries, the pressures, the oh my gods.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, definitely you got to consider Woodson. You got Woodson, Matthews, Hawk. That's just to name a few of them.
That's 3.
That defense.
Out on the line, you have Raji and Pickett. I mean,
Yeah, that defense is scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
They could beat the Patriots, by the way,
Oh, they could.
because the Patriots have defensive troubles right now. Packers don't as much have. So if you take that equation and you put it into play,
Yeah.
without a monster offensive game by the Patriots, the Packers would win that game.
Sure.
It's very possible, and I'm very willing to admit that.
Well, that wasn't a dig on you, by the way. That
I
was just, more of a pointing out the.
That's how good the Packers are right now.
Well, like we said, the Patriots are winning, but they're having to fight a little more for it than they should. Whereas it's come a little easier for the Packers, although they took a while to score on the Rams. They only scored 24 on the Rams.
Right.
That's an indicator of trouble.
Yeah.
And they let Minnesota stay within 5 of them yesterday, or 6 actually.
Woodson, he's got 3 tackles, 1 assist, and 2 sacks. So he's kind of up there.
Wow.
Now, if Woodson has 2 sacks, that's on a blitz, of course, but
Right.
he's a DB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't supposed to be doing that all the time. He ain't supposed to be doing that. He ain't supposed to be there.
Who did
Who did a lot?
And then, of course, A.J. Hawk, he's got 2 tackles and 4 assists.
And he's a little poorer in the pocket for his gesture last week against the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
He gave the bird.
No.
Yeah.
He You know
You know what he was doing? He was actually flipping off the owners in the Packers box because he's like, why are we wearing these shitty uniforms?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've got this poo brown hat on.
That's why they didn't do so good against the Rams, is because of that. So let's move on to the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
We'll just kind of go through receivers up to running backs, and then what the motherfucker?
Some of the fans trying to get in. It's close set.
Shotgun. So we're going to start off, like I said, with some wide receivers, and work our way up to who I think is going to be the league MVP.
MVP. Yep.
So
Me?
me, little me, no. Anyway, it is depressed. So we've got Donald Driver, 13 receptions, 107 yards, 2 touches.
Ooh.
Not bad.
No.
Not bad. Not great. Kind of under what he normally does, but still
Yeah.
not bad.
Well, let's just touch on that real quick. Again, it's the thing about when he runs a route and goes like over the middle or somewhere, the safety's got to pick him up because he's always a threat, and then someone else gets open underneath,
Mm-hmm.
like your running back or your
Donald
PPR,
Driver.
you know.
I mean, Greg Jennings. I mean.
Yeah.
So again, it's stats that always indicate the impact of a player on the field.
Right.
No. In fact, sometimes it's the exact opposite. Like with Revis on the Jets. You don't hear a lot from him no more because no one even throws that direction, hardly ever.
Another pick in the big
Or-
run afterwards this week.
Or, even better, to throw out a name that you guys might not even know, Leon Hall from Cincinnati Bengals. Who's Leon Hall, you might ask? He's probably only the second best cornerback in the league, minus Darrelle Revis. And why don't you hear about him? Because they don't fucking throw to him. Because they're smart, because
Bring one
he's
down,
way
real
too good. Anyways, sorry. I just had to go on a little
He's so
rant,
good.
you know.
He's so
I
good.
just get heated. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Jermichael Finley. Pretty quiet year for him, but on the flip side, it's not really quiet. So he's got 25 receptions. No, 334 yards. Oh, yeah.
Seven.
And 4 touchdowns.
Oh no,
Yeah.
they have their bye week already?
Green Bay? No, they haven't.
Or 7 or no? Yeah, no bye week.
Yeah. Up the line to Nelson, 24 receptions, 465 yards.
Wow.
And 4 touches.
Little guy.
Where'd he come from?
His mama.
Yeah.
No.
You said that earlier. I'm just following your lead.
You
man.
can't use my... No. Whatever.
It always gets so fun in the second half.
It is.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lot more fun.
It's good stuff. Jones, 19 receptions, 326 yards,
No.
3 touches.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's actually really good.
That is
Awesome.
really
That's pretty
good.
Awesome.
3 touches. That's
Yeah.
a felony.
There's- In some states.
Not this one, though. Then Cobb, he's got 11 receptions, 187 yards and a touch. Not too bad.
A lot of catches, low percentages.
Yeah, that's kind of that deal there. And then, of course, Jennings, 42 receptions. Just take a guess here. Just take a guess.
I'm gonna say 515.
No, he was both way low. 677.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And
Wow.
5 touchdowns.
Wow.
Holy crap!
Speaking of holy crap, you see where the light's shining over there? It's on Aquaman.
He is ascending to the
Holy
heavens.
crap! Holy crap!
All right, let's move on to running game a little bit here. Grant, 57 carries, 229 yards, no touches. How does this happen?
Can you repeat that stat again? I was distracted.
Grant, 57 carries, 229 yards, no touches.
He's a chain mover. We talked a while back about you got chain movers and you got guys that pound around the 2-yard line.
You said pound.
I did say pound. I said pound.
We gotta keep that up there for a minute. All right. Well, then on the flip side of that, we've got Starks, 83 carries, 374 yards, and 1 touch. It just sounds like they've got some chain moving going on there. They don't really have those guys that are plowing it in there.
He said plow,
at the
plow.
short ends there.
He said plow.
Well, okay, again, what happens in the red zone is either Rodgers runs it in or he throws a short pass.
Right.
The percentages seem to lean in that direction.
Absolutely.
But don't forget though, Starks went on a freaking tear last year towards the end of the season and all throughout the playoffs.
That's true.
So he was kind of came out of nowhere also last year. So
These numbers also indicate the Packers have so many weapons, they just spread it out.
right.
And these are high yards all
On offense
over the
and
place.
defense.
But we're going to touch on the highest right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
Who,
he's
like-
a man right now.
Like I said, I'm looking for him to be the league MVP.
If he's not, something's wrong.
Yeah. I don't know how he couldn't be at this point. Aaron Rodgers, he's got 20 touchdowns.
Wow.
He's amazing.
Now, do you know how many interceptions he's got this year?
4.
7.
3.
I was closest, I win.
He
Yeah.
was closest.
He was.
But, I mean, then Price is Right rules
Yeah.
on Pigskin holiday.
I said $1. So, how old is he?
How old is he?
Like
I don't know, 28 or something.
28, 27?
He's
27,
young.
28? Yeah.
He's got a lot of time left in him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just keeps getting better and better. 2,372 yards this season already.
Brett who?
Right.
Anyway, I just kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit, kind of point out just how damn good Green Bay really is.
Yeah.
And that it's not that they've had, easy games here and there or anything like that. I mean, they're blowing it up all over the place. Their offense is second to none right now. And the defense is right there with it.
But
But yeah, I mean, all kidding aside though, with that, I mean, nobody has really given Green Bay a challenge up until last week.
Mhm.
I mean, that first game, that was the first game.
Right.
Everybody's going to be playing hard then.
Well, yeah.
And those are two teams that are right now doing the same thing. They're still playing crazy. They're getting those high numbers,
Mhm.
and they're, running roughshod over whoever's in front of them.
Right.
So if the Saints and Packers play in the NFC Championship game, who wins?
I don't know, flip a coin, at this point, because I guarantee if they played again in the middle of the season, the Saints very well could beat the Packers.
But the Saints have lost 2 games. Packers have lost none.
True.
That's true, but I mean,
So I guess the edge has to go to Green Bay, but it would be a good game.
It would be.
statistically it would go to Green Bay, but just like with anything else, you can't count on anything in the NFL.
But
anymore.
statistically, if it was a playoff run, we're talking NFC Championship. Statistically, I'd have to point it, kind of in the direction of the Saints, because of just of the experience that Drew Brees has, as opposed to the experience that Aaron Rodgers has. Yeah, he went on a tear last year, but up until then, really,
But
what did
I
you see in
think-
the playoffs as far as Aaron Rodgers went?
I think as a whole, if you look at both sides of the ball, Green Bay has more weapons.
True.
The Saints are explosive,
Mhm.
but I think, and they have some good weapons on offense. I think defensively, the Packers would hold the edge.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Defensively, definitely.
So it would probably come down to that. That opening game this year was fantastic.
Yeah, well, that kind of blew our whole theory of their defenses shutting each other down.
Yeah.
Kind of shot that out of the water because
They didn't
They
do
just-
much.
neither one of them.
But
But yeah, that's really all I've got for my segment this time. I've actually managed to keep it relatively simple this time. I want a real clap.
All right.
damn it. But that's all I've got. Was there anything else you would like to touch on, Ed? Or Mario? Either one?
I will touch on Mario's segment.
He will touch on you.
Oh.
I will also touch on Mario. Segment.
This segment.
So that's all I've got. Let's close it out on this quarter for Pigskin Holiday.
Go Cardinals!